Hi everyone. I'm just going for a brisk walk this morning and I thought I would stop and share something with you regarding the theme of the month for my book, which is leadership. We're on the last day of January, so I thought I would share some thoughts that I have about how I see leadership playing out in the workplace and in the lives of women. And the first thing that happens sometimes when I talk to those who are either in HR or they're in leadership positions and they're trying to really move their businesses and their companies forward and their organizations forward. And I see them looking for people who have either raised their hand or people who kind of fit the stereotypical idea of what it means to be a leader. And they end up missing out. They end up missing out on a lot of talent and a lot of possibilities because of that. And the question for these organizations is really, what are you looking for? What do you really want your leaders to achieve? What do you see is missing? And then really try to craft specific ways to make that happen. Not the same old way you've always done things, but specific strategies to really identify and really figure out who those best people are. They may be at your organization and they may not. And I know many women who have been at jobs where they've been overlooked. Maybe they've raised their hand, or maybe they haven't even thought of raising their hand and they were never called. But that doesn't mean that they aren't leaders. And that doesn't mean that you aren't a leader. You know, I really think about it in terms of it's not just about your position at work. Yes, we absolutely do need people who are in C-suite positions. We also need people who are in top management positions, but we also need team leaders. We need lab supervisors. We need people who are actually going to bring the morale up in the field. You know, people who are working in line and they're the ones that everybody looks up to, right? We need all of that. And so it's not necessarily about the title. It's how you work and how you walk your walk in life. You know, I'm sitting here in my neighborhood and I'm thinking about there is a woman who recently moved here. We all actually moved around the same time, the two of us. And I remember I was walking with my daughter and she was walking with her family. And this was just a couple years ago. And she said, "Hey, neighbor." And I said, "Hi." And she said, "You know, did you know about our Facebook page?" And I was like, "Facebook page? Well, I just moved here. So, you know," but she was like, "No, I just created a Facebook page for our neighborhood." So she created this Facebook page. We're like 3 blocks. It's not this huge neighborhood. It's a small neighborhood, but she created a Facebook page. She was like, "Hey, let's just see," you know, and then a couple months later, she came up with the idea of us, you know, gathering together as neighbors. And that has led to the neighborhood having multiple events every single year, different events for the families. I mean, it's like a huge deal, actually. I mean, I feel like, you know, we could get written up about how fabulous the events can be. But the great thing about it is that the neighbors have come together. The neighbors are friends. Neighbors help each other out. You know, somebody had a fire about a year ago, and it was a terrible fire, and all the neighbors came together within minutes, not only to help get them out, but to make sure they had a place to stay. They had clothes, they had food, they had money, they had a hotel for the other days that they were going to need. The kids had backpacks and school supplies instantly. You know, this was the kind of thing that all came out from this woman saying, "Let me create a Facebook page." Now, I don't know if she's a leader at work, but if she isn't and she wants to be, she needs to be, because she created something amazing. Because not only is our neighborhood now at this point highly sought out, you know, but we are really enjoying our neighborhood, and she created economic development at the snap of a finger. So, you know, if she doesn't know it, she should know that she is an incredible leader. And so that's the work that I'm here to tell you that you should really try to consider doing. If somebody at work is not picking you out as a leader, that's okay. You can cultivate that in yourself. You can read books. You can listen to podcasts. You can watch videos and create that. You can do things in your family and in your community that stretch those leadership skills so that you are prepared and that you are doing it at work and beyond. So the thing and the mission for me is not just about making sure that companies have the leaders that they need. It's because I believe this time in history is when we need the mindset, the skill set, the technical perspective of women in STEM in our world. We need that type of vision. We need that type of process. And so that's the reason why I'm calling on you all to think about that and make time in your life to be able to consider how you can develop those leadership skills. What is leadership to you and how it's playing about in your life?